It's not often that we see handicrafts incorporated as a school subject in a curriculum plan. Oh, we might see them on the schedule for preschool or kindergarten, but rarely do we see that priority extended into elementary school, and almost never into middle school or high school. Yet Charlotte Mason believed that handicrafts were a vital component of a child's education. She understood the important benefits that our children can gain from working with their hands. Let's take a few minutes to remind ourselves of those benefits and why Charlotte Mason included handicrafts in the school schedule for every student. Welcome to the Simply Charlotte Mason podcast. I'm Sonia Schaefer. Whether you are a dyed-in-the-wool artsy-craftsy person or feel like handicrafts are a waste of time, you may be surprised at all of the ways that your students will benefit from working with their hands. First, perhaps we should clarify what we mean by handicrafts. In the preschool and kindergarten years, we're used to thinking of crafts as coloring with crayons and cutting with scissors and gluing pieces of paper together. That may be a simple way to get started, but when Charlotte Mason talked about handicrafts, she meant crafts like knitting and sewing and woodworking and leather tooling, the kinds of crafts that have proven useful and beautiful over the centuries. Charlotte had 4 tests that a handicraft project had to pass in order to be of benefit to the students. Number 1, the project had to be useful. The students must not be assigned a task that would waste their time by making futilities. 2, the project had to be detailed enough that the students were taught slowly and carefully, allowing plenty of time for them to learn the skills step by step and to do them correctly. 3rd, because of that care that was involved in the instruction, the students must be encouraged to do careful work. Slipshod work was not to be allowed, so the project must be worthy of their concentrated effort and time. And 4th, the project should be kept well within their compass. It should challenge but not frustrate the students. Those 4 tests give you a great idea of the level of handicraft work that Charlotte expected from her students. But the question remains, why? Why did she think that handicrafts were important? Well, work like that trains your students' eyes and hands. It encourages continuing growth in that eye-hand coordination. I read a disturbing article recently that revealed that medical colleges are having a difficult time finding students qualified to become surgeons because they lack the hand dexterity that is needed. These students have grown up swiping and tapping their mobile devices, but not doing intricate work that has trained their eyes and hands for more detailed actions. Now, I don't know about you, but next time I need a surgeon, I want one with good hand-eye coordination. You can encourage your students to continue to progress in that area simply by including regular handicrafts in your school schedule. When taught the way that I described earlier, handicrafts will also provide a training ground for cultivating 2 important habits in your students' lives: the habits of neatness and perseverance. Now, when you think of neatness, you might be thinking, oh, everything in its place. But that's a different habit. That's orderliness. The habit of neatness takes it a step further and encourages your students to do their best to arrange things where they belong in an attractive manner. In other words, beautiful handicrafts help to cultivate a sense of beauty and design and proportion. And as your students work on long-term projects slowly and carefully, they also develop that habit of perseverance, continuing that careful work until the project is done. With handicrafts, your students have a unique opportunity to see the fruit of their perseverance each step of the way. So it's a wonderful training ground for those 2 habits. Charlotte believed that education is the science of relations. Education is all about providing opportunities for your students to form personal relations with the things around them in their world, whether those things are ideas or actions or physical materials. Handicrafts focus on the physical materials. By offering your students a wide variety of handicrafts, you will encourage them to form those personal relations with various types of wood and cloth and leather and yarn and rope and other textiles. Each type of material responds differently to certain actions. And becoming familiar with a variety of materials and how each one behaves in this world is part of the education due to a person. You don't know how God has wired each of your students. One might have a gift tucked inside them for working with one of those materials. When you include handicrafts in your homeschool, those hidden gifts are given an opportunity to be discovered and cultivated and become a source of lifelong joy and potential ministry to that student. And ministry, or service, is an important mindset to encourage. If you want your students to be producers, not just consumers in this world, handicrafts provide a way to cultivate that mindset. There's something about seeing the work of your hands put into use in the home, or given as gifts to friends, or donated to the community, that brings a sense of generosity and belonging. All of us want to make a meaningful contribution in our lives, and handicrafts offer a tangible and visible way to practice that. Charlotte often connected her students with local charities so they could donate the things they had made to help those in need. Knowing that the work of their hands is needed and is put to good use encourages your students to use their time wisely and productively as they grow more comfortable and skilled in their favorite handicrafts. Just as picture study, music study, or nature study provides a lovely mental break in the day's schoolwork, so handicrafts can offer an opportunity to use a different part of the brain as well. You can introduce this helpful change by inserting a regular handicrafts session into your weekly schedule. Then don't be surprised if you see your older students turning their hands to one of their favorite crafts during other parts of the day or week. Once your students discover how refreshing this mental break can be, they will be able to use it to their advantage for the rest of their lives. They will also enjoy the preparation for life that the skills themselves bring, because many of the activities that we call handicrafts are also life skills. Knowing how to sew, how to cook, or how to create things out of wood, those can all be a great advantage to your students when they move out and set up their own households. Remember, the goal of education is growth in all aspects of personhood, not just academics. Handicrafts contribute many of those non-academic advantages that a well-rounded, well-educated person has. All you have to do is set aside a little time once a week to explore a type of material and learn a handicraft together. If you're not skilled in a particular craft, look around for a relative or a friend or a person in your church or your neighborhood who knows and loves that craft. They will probably be thrilled to share their knowledge and enthusiasm with your family. Simply Charlotte Mason also has handicraft resources available to help you give your students this unparalleled opportunity to train their eyes and hands, to cultivate good habits, to develop relations with various physical materials, and to enjoy a sense of accomplishment and ministry from the work of their hands. That's the point of handicrafts. Thanks for joining me. Check the description for links, and I'll see you next time.